Hello, everyone. Welcome to Court with Krissy. If you are able to focus on the lady with purple hair, guess what? Your Heiney gets a gold star. I hope you like it. Court with Krissy is now in session.
We are back on the record in 25 CR 104, State of Kansas versus Patricia Ann Jones, all parties appearing as before. Any announcements, Mr. McClendon?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is willing today to submit a no contest plea to count one. Recommendations on that would be no fine, standard court cost, and that Your Honor makes a determination on attorney's fees. I'd be asking for a waiver of attorney's fees. 8-month underlying jail sentence and 12 months reporting probation, and including a $60 probation fee.
Is that your agreement, Mr. JRegier?
That is the state's understanding, Your Honor.
And Ms. Jones, is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes.
How do you plead to one count of interference with the law enforcement officer?
Guilty.
Is anyone making you enter this plea of guilty today by any threats or promises other than your plea agreement?
Yes.
Who is?
Every.
Who's making you enter this plea today?
I can't hear.
Oh,
I can't hear you, ma'am.
let me turn this up.
Okay, I'll turn mine up too. Can you hear me better now, Ms. Jones?
Yes.
All right. How do you plead to count one, interference with the law enforcement officer in Butler County, Kansas on March 12th, 2025? How do you plead to this charge?
Guilty.
Is anyone making you enter this plea of guilty today?
No.
Anyone threatening you?
No.
Anyone promising you something other than the plea agreement?
No.
Do you understand that if I accept your plea, there will be no trial, that you're giving up your right to a trial,
Yeah.
and that you will be found guilty and unable to appeal your conviction? Do you understand that?
Well,
Now, it is alleged by the state that you either obstructed or resisted or opposed a person authorized by law to serve process or in an execution of process or in an attempt to serve or execute a writ warrant, process, or order of a court while the officer was in the discharge of his official duty. Tell me, please, in your own words, what you did that makes you guilty of interference with a law enforcement officer.
I don't feel I did anything wrong.
You did what?
I don't feel I did anything wrong.
All right. What did you do?
I talked to an officer. I talked to an officer once, and then I thought we were done, and they came back later on, and I did not know Joe, my son was home. Did not know it. Did not know until the police came in the back door. That's when he came out, and he told me to tell the police to get out, that they didn't have a warrant. Well, they were already inside my house, so I mean, but I honestly did not know my son was there.
All right. So that the cops showed up to serve a warrant on your son.
And he had a warrant. Yeah.
And how old is your son?
37.
Okay. And you told the officers he wasn't home?
Yeah, I didn't know he was there, honestly.
Okay, so if I understood you right, when you told them he wasn't home, they left?
The one officer, okay, I talked to one officer, one officer, a sheriff, I think he was a sheriff, and he
Okay,
left, and I thought we were done.
okay,
You
and
know,
then what,
I,
did
I
they
didn't think
show
he
up?
was, I didn't think he was there. And then later on, two more came, and they didn't tell me they knew my son was in there. They said they seen him ride the bike. So when I was up, we were on the porch, the first officer, and I'm looking around, my bike was gone. So I told him to hold on. I went inside, went to check up my son's door, and it was locked. So I came back out and I told him, I said, well, he's not here and he's on my bike. And he left. And then later on, two more came. So that, yeah,
What happened then?
I didn't answer the door then, ma'am, because I already done talked to an officer. I did not know he was in my home. Period. But they knew he was in there. They didn't tell me that. If they would have told me, if they would have told me they knew he was in there, I would have did something different. I would have went back there and knocked on that door and told him to get his Heiney out here and deal with it, because that's what I do. So I mean, I don't know. I think I'm falsely arrested, but I mean that's between. I mean, you know,
Well,
because I did
what,
not honestly know he was in my home. I did not know he was home.
well,
But
apparently
they, huh?
apparently the third time they somehow got in the home and found him.
Yeah, it's just that second time, which I mean, which they were going to come through my bedroom window, and my dog about got him in the face.
The
And he told me to
officers
get my
came
dog
into your
back. He was
bedroom.
gonna shoot my dog. And I told him he wasn't gonna shoot my dog. He was in my domain. To shut the
Okay.
window, and he didn't shut the window. He just left it up. Took the screen off, lifted the window up like that.
You're saying
And
the officer did that?
yes, the sheriff. Yeah, yes,
All
ma'am,
right.
he did.
Okay. Well, Mr. McClendon, I'm presuming you and Mr. Regier have evidence that suggests they had a legal reason or a legal reason for coming in the house at some point. But if your client is denying that she knew he was home, is this a guilty or a no contest plea?
It was supposed to be a no contest plea, Your Honor, and more so an Alfred plea.
Okay, to take advantage of the plea offer. All right. So, Miss Jones, are you pleading guilty to take advantage of this plea offer? Why are you pleading guilty if you don't think you did anything wrong?
Because he was told that if I go to trial and I lose the trial, that I'll spend more time in jail, and then I don't want to do that. I
All
mean,
right. So,
they said 8 months now. I did 3 days there, ma'am, and I didn't like it at all, and I ain't going back.
all right. So, are you doing this because you want the plea offer, even though you don't think you're guilty?
The plea off.
Are you pleading guilt? Are you pleading guilty or no contest because you don't want to go to trial?
She said if I went to trial and I lost, it'd be longer time in jail.
Well, that could be. I don't know. But based on advice of your attorney, are you saying you want to enter a plea instead of go to trial?
I mean, I feel I was falsely arrested. I really do.
And I understand that, and you have the right to take it to trial. But if you don't want to take it to trial, I understand you're wanting to plead guilty or no contest so that you get the plea agreement instead of a chance of what the sentence might be after trial. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I've never been to court like this, man, before ever, and I really don't know what my rights are. But I do know that I honestly did not know my son was there, and I think I was falsely arrested.
Okay, did you tell your attorney that?
I did.
And your attorney told you that you have the right to a trial, it sounds like.
That the best bet was to take
That you
take
could
the
go to
plea.
trial.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
you
that's
could go
why.
to trial. Do you want to go to trial?
Yeah, I really
Okay,
do. Yeah.
so you do not want to take advantage of this plea offer that's been made to you. You'd rather go to trial and take your chances with a trial than to enter a plea today? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, yeah. Because like I said, I think I was falsely arrested. Um, like I said, if the officers would have told me they actually knew he was in the home, my home, yeah, it would have been different. I would have been back there, knocked on the door, and said, "Hey, get your Heiney out here and deal with this," you know. I
And
wouldn't have went to
that's
jail.
okay, and that's going to be your defense if you go to trial. Is if they told you that he was there, you would have gone and gotten him.
I wouldn't. Yeah, it would have went differently. Yes, because
All right.
my son knows that I don't lie to the police. I don't lie to the police. I don't lie to nobody. And I did not know he was there.
Okay, I'm going to set this for trial, but Mr. McClendon, it sounds like the two of you might want to do some more talking between then and now. Or, yes. So our next, do you want a jury trial if it goes to trial, Mr. McClendon, probably?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to set this for jury trial because that's what you want. Is that right, Miss
Yes.
Jones? Okay. All right, so we're going to set this for jury trial, and that is what, October
Your
1st?
pre-trial is September 29th, Your Honor,
That's my pre-trial, right?
and October 1st and 2nd are jury.
All right, now,
Judge, I have another jury trial scheduled for that. Um, or it's actually a bench trial, but it's on a JV case in Butler County with Judge Lee on those exact dates.
well,
And I wouldn't say this unless I do presume that case is going to go.
okay. Well, and it's possible you and Miss Jones will talk further, and I could set it for another status, but frankly, that'd probably be after the jury trial date.
Your next status date will be October 6th.
Was great.
We can go ahead and set it, Judge, and I'll work with Mr. Regier to try to get this case hopefully resolved by then.
Okay, and if we need to expedite it, we can probably find some way to do that. All right, so Ms. Jones, I'm going to order you back here September 29th. Do you want her at 8 to talk to her or 9, Mr. McClendon?
9 will be fine, Judge.
All right. You're going to be back here by Zoom September 29th, 9 a.m. And it's probably best that you come to the courthouse in case you need any help with the recordings. So I'm going to order that you be back at the courthouse September 29th at 9 a.m. That's for your pre-trial conference. Then there is the jury trial, which will begin October 1st and go through the 2nd. That starts at 9 o'clock also.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
also going to order that you contact your attorney. When do you want her to contact you, Mr. McClendon? Within a certain time frame or a certain day?
Just by the end of the week, this week, Judge.
You call him by the end of the week, and I'm sure he can go through this again with you to make sure you're doing what you want to do freely and voluntarily.
Okay.
Because you can plead not guilty and set this for trial, which is what we're doing. But you can also plead guilty and admit it to take advantage of the plea agreement, which is what I think you started out wanting to do.
Yeah, but
And
I mean,
but
wrong
you
is
don't have
wrong,
to
I
say
say,
anymore.
and I think they were wrong.
All right. Well, if you don't want to take advantage of the plea agreement, then trial's your way to go. So I'm going to excuse you at this time and continue on the bond. And this time, from this point to trial, will count against the defendant. You may go. You are excused.
Your Honor, there is one final matter.
Yes.
Your Honor, the state's understanding, as previously indicated on the record, is that a plea offer was advanced by my office contingent upon a plea being entered during today's hearing. The state would withdraw all prior plea offers at this time.
All right. Understand that the plea offer is gone. It's not an option anymore.
Okay,
Okay. All right. You may go.
all right, thank you.
We'll be in recess again. Mr. McClendon, thank you so much for appearing. You're
Thank you,
excused
Judge.
as well. You're
May I be
welcome.
excused?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Welcome. In 115, it was alleged in that case, Ms. Smith, that you'd failed to pay and failed to complete an online education class and failed to obtain your driver's license. Again, that's the 24115.
Correct.
And Your Honor,
Yes.
is the court dispensing from its usual requirement of requiring defense to appear visibly?
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't know. I was in my button. Looked like I wasn't showing. I didn't clicked on something. I apologize. Can you
Okay.
see me now?
We can see you now.
Okay, I apologize.
And then in the 2023 TR 3203, we're here on a misdemeanor control. This is involving one count of driving without a license. How do you wish to proceed, Mr. Regier? Do you want to proceed on your motion to revoke?
Given that these cases appear to be filed separately, the state would request to proceed on each case individually. The state is prepared to proceed on its motion in the 2024 case.
Now, Ms. Smith, were you going to hire an attorney or apply for a court
Yes.
appointed?
I was trying to get my own, and then I had called about getting one, and I had talked to the prosecutor's office about. I paid. I did the online test. She had extended the time. I went to get my license, but it got suspended when the diversion was revoked or through this. So I've been trying to do all that, but like I said, I took the online course. She had given me extra time.
Ma'am, I just need to know
Oh.
if you're going to have an attorney.
Oh, okay. For the other case?
Either one.
Yes. I need to see if I can get a court appointed.
Are you employed?
No, I've been taking care of my dad he had cancer and now and my mom had just died and my dad was during cancer treatments is when I missed the date of the getting finished for the actual diversion. But like I said, I went ahead so I don't know which case, if he would accept that. It's been caught up.
Well, hang on. I'm going to appoint Attorney Darren Patterson, Darren.
Okay.
Write that down, Darren Patterson.
Yes. I called him already also.
Okay.
And I paid $400 last week also.
Okay. Well, you contact Darren Patterson.
Okay.
So were you going to try to hire him? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, I was going to try to see about getting the court appointed because I was trying to pay for it on my own, but I like I said, I went ahead and paid the $400 for the diversion. So now I haven't been working. Like I said, I've been taking care of my dad now.
All right. I'm going to appoint Darren Patterson. His number's 316-322-7700. Call his office. I don't know if they're going to be open during the lunch hour. You may have to call back a little later.
Right.
but you can call them now and see if there's anyone there, and then call back later after lunch if there's not. We'll set this over to October 6th. You must be back here by Zoom, October 6th, 8 a.m. I'm appointing him on both cases.
Okay.
Both cases, Jen.
Okay.
All right. If there's nothing further, you're excused, Ms. Smith. I believe you're on bonds. Let's double check. I'll
Your Honor,
Thank
continue
you.
the bonds.
Thank you,
Mr.
Honor.
Regier?
Your Honor, as far as the bond in the other case is concerned, it would appear that there was a bond executed for a date back in July 31st of 2024. I am showing that that date appears to be prior to when the diversion agreement was filed with the court in October of 2024. So I'm not sure if the court considers that continuing at this time or not. The state would also request clarification as to whether or not that October 6th date is for both the 2023 and the 2024 case.
The October 6th date is for both. Aaron Patterson is appointed on both. I will continue the bonds. I still have, as I did with Mr. Jensen's client, some reservation about saying the bondsman's still responsible, but I will for now, and we'll follow that up shortly on some of these cases, whether
Your Honor.
should be or not. All right. So you're excused, Miss Smith, but call
Thank you.
Mr. Patterson's office. You're welcome.
Have a nice day.
Thank you. We'll now be on the record in 2024 TR 3455, State of Kansas versus Sean Michael Southard. JRegier for the state,